Insight. So my name is Joel Sanchez. I also work in the professional development department and also member services. And we have the lovely and fabulous Ms. Marilyn Maxwell. So she will be handling the chat. You will be able to see us. This is kind of like a webinar style, so we won't be able to see you. But if you do have any questions, definitely just plug them in the chat, and Marilyn or I will do our best to go ahead and answer your questions. All right, you guys. So of course, thank you for coming. So today we're going to be talking about market insight. So I'm hoping everyone can properly see this this presentation right here. Mostly everything is going to be live. So we're not really going to be doing slides or PowerPoint. I just kind of have like a little introductory slideshow for y'all to see right here. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. So with the market insight, it's a really good tool to be able to show your clients the surrounding areas and exactly so your sellers, anyone maybe who's interested in buying as well. But this tool was primarily made for sellers, but you can use it. You can send a market insight to yourself as well. So let's just click on this. All right. So one of the first things, y'all, this market insight tool, it's specifically for platinum agents. So if you do have an MLS standard subscription, which is that quarterly bill, that's about $111.93. That's billed every first of the quarter. If you want to have access to exactly other tools, then you'll need to sign up for the MLS Platinum Package. So the MLS Platinum Package, it's about $129. After tax, it comes out to about $137-ish. Maybe some of y'all are already platinum agents, so of course you probably already know the benefits of that. But with being a platinum subscriber, you do get tons and tons of other extra tools that are kind of accessible to you. So you can have a 30-day free trial with the MLS Platinum Package. You can, if you haven't already used it before. So we do have other classes that do pertain to be able to kind of train y'all to use those tools. We have a enhance your business. So that one is a tool, that one's a specific class that kind of handles the tools that are set up for your MLS standard package. And also it goes over a few tools for the platinum services. Or you can also take that lead generation tool class where it more pertains to just the platinum package and the platinum tools. So if you do plan on taking the class, you definitely want to try signing up for the platinum package either the day of the class or maybe a day before. We do recommend having that little trial before you go actually into it, so you can see if maybe some of the tools actually really benefit you. You'll kind of be able to get like a little hands-on demonstration. Maybe some of y'all have dual monitors, or you could also maybe while you're taking the class, you can just kind of have yourself on your phone, kind of record yourself, and then you can just be on your computer and following along with the instructor. So you definitely would want to take the, definitely try to subscribe, and then you'd be able to have access to this market insight tool that we're about to go over. So the market insight tool, it does provide valuable tools to your clients and customers. So some of the different benefits to that specific tool, it gives you a really good listing traffic report for that specific listing. So whenever we actually go on and create one for you guys, you'll be able to see the different hits, or I guess traffic, for hr.com and the mobile site. So maybe your specific client who you're listing for, they'll be able to see the traffic that's on there. It'll have like a graph, they have the number, and it'll have the total number as well. So if anyone's very analytical, maybe if you're selling for some engineers, any accountants, they would love to see those numbers and to be able to see those total amount of hits or traffic. that is going for your specific listing. Of course, appointments. So you would be able to see these specific appointments. So your clients will be able to see those appointments, maybe also any specific kind of feedback that was shown after an appointment. So for an example, like let's say someone wasn't a big fan of the yard, or they had some problem with the carpeting, they would possibly put a little feedback note on there, and then maybe your client can kind of try to fix the yard up, right? Or they can maybe try to clean the carpet. Who knows what the feedback will be? But that does come in handy, especially with just some good tips from there. And then, of course, online marketing, you can market it as well. So you can market into various social media platforms, so Facebook, anything like that. The thing with, if you do put it on maybe like a social media marketing tool area, you might want to take away some really personal options on there. So maybe take away like the values, maybe some appointments, and I'll be able to kind of show you how exactly it looks. And then of course the subdivision price trends. So that's what really does become in handy as well. Sometimes with the subdivision price trends, so like a lot of these options right here, y'all, you can kind of select it and deselect it, or unselect it, I'm sorry. So you can unselect it, and let's say if it doesn't really benefit your client, maybe just go ahead and unselect it, and then they won't really be able to see that specific report on your market insight. So it really just kind of depends for the specific numbers. So it either helps your client or it kind of doesn't help them so much. So maybe you can just take away that tool and they'll actually have no idea that it was on there. So of course we go zip code trends, same thing as subdivision. You can also search it by zip code trends, and the geo market area as well. So you can do a geo market area. Sometimes geo market areas are larger than the zip code. You can also make a shape. So maybe some people want to live, they're interested on like specifically like I-10 or a 59 area. You can kind of select a shape to where it will just get that market insight for that specific shape. So there's a few options for you guys. So let's stop sharing really quick. I'm going to show y'all about Platinum really quick, just to make sure that y'all are able to kind of see that. Okay, so I'm hoping everyone can see this. Let me get us out of here really quick. Okay, so this is the fabulous members only portal. So we are underneath Mr. Bogany here. This isn't, obviously this is not me, but he is so gracious for us to use his account, because we actually aren't practicing agents or realtors. We have to use Shad for a good purpose, of course, but he actually has listings opposed to us where we're not able to kind of give you that example of various listings. So you would definitely sign in as a Realtor Pro, and then you would be able to go here to your members only portal. So there's a few ways that you can actually access that market insight tool. For Shad, he actually uses this tool quite often. So it would be underneath his frequently used tools. That would work as well. You could also go to tools, marketing tools, and then market insight. So this would also take you to the tool as well. Let me show you other ways to get there really quick. Of course, hopefully y'all know about this handy dandy search bar here. So this really comes in handy for you guys if y'all ever need anything, or don't, you might not have like the full name of something. Let's say if you need forms, it'll start giving you prompts, and then maybe you can go to Forms Manager. But for this, of course, you can start typing in market, and then look what pops up. Market Insight's already one of the options. You can select that, and then it'll pop up for you there. And then one more way to get there. So you can go to MLS, go to Listing Management, My Listings. And then let's say you go to one of your listings here, you can hit Action, kind of scroll down a little bit. and then you'll be able to get to create a market insight, where it'll take you directly to that specific property and be able to make that market insight for that specific property. So before we go a little bit more deeper, let me just go through MLS Platinum, y'all, and how to get there or how to sign up for it. So let's go dashboard really quick. So if y'all are interested of attending or getting some of those tools that come with your MLS or Platinum subscription, you can just go to sign in to the members only portal. And then on the left side, you're going to see something that says MLS. So just click on that. You're going to go to the next step that says MLS Platinum, and then select About MLS Platinum. So it's going to take you to this page where it kind of highlights some of the tools that are also added with this Platinum subscription. So if you kind of go down, scroll down a little bit, it'll be able to show you those different various tools that are also given to you once you get that Platinum subscription. So client experience rating, see those stars. Some of those agents, they do have like 4 or 5 stars. If you're interested in getting that, then you would want to get that MLS Platinum tool or Platinum subscription, I'm sorry. Enhanced lead capture tools, IDX tools and widgets. So of course you can see tons of different tools here. Cloud CMA, that's a little more in-depth and intuitive CMA process, because of course you can use the quick CMA or the CMA wizard that's already given to you with your MLS standard subscription. But you could also, if you have Platinum, then you get this handy dandy Cloud CMA. So we do have tons of other tools that are offered to you as well. So remember, you can just go to this page. If you don't already have MLS Platinum, then go ahead and just try that trial. Maybe try one of the classes as well, so you can kind of follow along with the instructors, and then you'll be able to see if it's actually beneficial towards you. So it really just depends. And remember, you're going to have it for a full year. So it's not going to really coincide with your MLS standard billing. You're not going to get billed the first of the quarter for this one, for that 129, unless you happen to sign up on maybe like January 1st or April 1st, July 1st, or October 1st, really. Then you'll get billed that 129, but you can really sign up for this anytime during the year. You can pay for it. And then once you've done that, you'll have it for the whole following year. So let's say you signed up today, you have it until next April 28th, 2023. So it really just depends. But of course, we're here for market insight. So let's go back. So remember, let's go tools, marketing tools, and market insight. So with Shad, he does have some current listings. So you can see he has tons of listings here. He has some prospecting listings as well. And then you can kind of see his sold. So if we were to do it from our accounts, we actually wouldn't have anything here because we don't practice. So we all need to thank Shad for us to be able to use his account. So what you would do is, so on here, we can see the addresses, the MLS number, the actual property type, and the date that these market insights were actually created. And if you hover over, so you see these 3 buttons here. So you can kind of hover over, and then it will say market insight is created without invitation. So basically this has been created, but it hasn't been sent out to that specific client or some clients. This pencil, of course, I mean, you can kind of go ahead and edit it and go ahead and edit the settings for the market insight. And then this big old eyeball is where you're going to be able to actually preview that, that insight to what is actually sent out to your client. And then you can preview it, maybe see if it's works best for your client. And then you can pick and choose or modify it however you want. And then you can actually go ahead and send it out to them. So for this, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of just a little test. So if you see this right here, That's meaning that we need to go ahead and create one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create one of these. And this is just kind of a little test address, so it might not have too much on there. So there's a few steps of actually creating this tool. So the first one you want to look at is the actual step 1. So you can choose whichever marketing tools is shown or viewed for your specific consumer clients. So of course, these names are kind of intuitive to what they actually do in feedback. So as you can see this little pink check. You can unselect it. And then that means whenever this tool is actually created for your client, they won't be able to see these appointments or appointment feedback. Or as I was saying earlier, if you do need to maybe try to promote it on one of the social media apps, then you might want to just go ahead and unselect this, because I mean, why would you want your appointments and some of that feedback from those set appointments to be on like Facebook? So you might not want to have some personal information on there. That's if you're trying to promote it. But for your clients, definitely just go ahead and have that so they can see that feedback. So you can unselect, deselect all these various options. So of course, there is a zip code trends to where they'll be able to see the trends for that specific zip code for that property. So of course you can click on it, deselect it, either or, and then you'll see these preview little hyperlinks. You can click on that. So it's not exactly showing you the preview from that specific property or for this 907 North Test Mahogany, but it's going to give you like a little kind of little breakdown of just how it's going to look later on when you actually do create it. So, and then same thing as appointments. It's going to be able to show you a few different, just a little preview of how it's going to look later on. These are a little bit older previews, or just is a little bit older for the website, I guess from a little few years ago. But when I show you all, you'll be able to see how it looks. Of course, we have a listing traffic report. So you definitely want to have this one, because whenever you see anyone, so anyone from hr.com or even that mobile app that a lot of people have, I've been seeing those HRL billboards actually all over the place. I almost got in a wreck because I was so excited to see one the other day. But so from the HR mobile app and hr.com, they'll actually be able to see, you'll be able to see the numbers and the total numbers. So it'll add it up as well. So that will become really handy to maybe your clients are interested in seeing what amount of traffic they're actually getting for their specific property. Of course, subdivision price trend. So this is specific to that subdivision. So kind of the smaller scope that you have, maybe the more, the less comparables you'll end up actually having in the long run. But you can go ahead and select subdivision price trends. It really kind of depends. Remember, you do want to benefit your client as much as possible. Maybe the houses, like a few, like literally like 4 or 5 houses down, had a lot more renovations, or they have a larger square footage space, right? And then that one is listing for maybe like 500,000. And your client is maybe thinking about the same. They're like, oh, because I live literally on the same street, and let me try listing mine as 500,000. Well, maybe their house isn't as renovated or as spacious or as many upgrades. So it really just kind of depends on what benefits your clients. You don't necessarily need to have some of these. You can just always click it and check it off. So let's go to step 2. This is choosing the comparables. So as in like the areas. So this is this is kind of a test one. So we won't be able to see too much, but I'll show you all how it actually kind of looks for an actual listing that Shad has. But this will be able to give you the different various options that you can pick for the location. So of course you can pick this top one. If you were to select this, you can kind of go to this drop-down menu, and then you'll be able to have for a 1/2 mile radius of that specific property, 1 mile, 1.5, and 2 miles. Subdivision, so it really depends on that subdivision. You can go ahead and just have, you can have that specific subdivision. It would only make a market insight for this specific area though. Zip code, remember sometimes geo-market areas can be larger than zip code. It really depends. So really what the pros and cons of this is, I mean, this is really awesome of a tool to where, like, you know, I mean, you guys are realtors, so I'm sure you get the question of always like, how is the market doing, right? So you can't really show multiple markets with this market insight. You can only have like maybe one zip code, or you can only have one geo market area. Here, let me show you this. So if you clicked on geo market, and if you go to that little drop down, it'll be able to show you all the geo market areas. So that's the thing, you can only have one. If you can go ahead and maybe create a custom map to where you can have kind of like a larger area, but you, with the zip code and the geo market and subdivision, you can only plug in one in there. So just kind of keep that in mind. So here, let me show you all how the custom shape looks. So I'm hoping everyone's already, I've already kind of made shapes in their maps in their MLS matrix. So this is kind of the same thing. So here, let me show you all how it looks. So this is that test area. It looks, it's all the way by the water. It's kind of far, but the way it works is you can start drawing. So I just have to click on start drawing, and then just kind of click down, and then it's going to kind of form this polygon to where you can really look at that. So you don't really necessarily, you can also click one of these white buttons and then create it bigger. So it really just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Oh, I'm zooming in and out. Or look, maybe if they want to, here, let me delete that. So we want to, if you use this shape, then it'll be that market insight for that specific shape. Or you can also, of course, clear it. Select area by map. You can start drawing again, and then maybe just go ahead and do another shape. The thing is with this is whenever you do create like a shape, and if you create your market insight, your clients will actually be able to see what shape you drew. So maybe nothing too crazy, but definitely have it a little professional, very neat, and exactly what area they're looking for. So let's go back. So these are the different areas you can kind of click, or pick the different options. So of course we can go the radius, that specific subdivision, specific zip code. I don't think, I mean, this is crazy. A geo market area and that custom shape. And if you kind of scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see the property type. So it's not going to exactly have the market insight for all the property types. Usually if this is a single family property, it's going to only be a market insight for single family. If it's a leasing or rental type, it's going to be only a market insight for that leasing and rental type. And then you'd be able to just go to this drop down menu, but this is kind of like a test, so it's not really showing up on there. So for instance, and then you'll see these options as well. So you can kind of pick plus or a minus. So as in, and depending on the percentages that you picked. So maybe it's plus 10,000% or less than 10,000%. And then it gives you kind of like a little breakdown here. So it says from 1,128,240 to 1,378,960. Oh, that's a big number, but you can do that for your price. So it really kind of depends. Maybe if you want to make it a little less to be a little bit more in line with your property, or you can try to put plus minus 25% to where it will really give you like kind of a bigger scope of things. And then same as square footage. So you can do plus minus 250 square feet, and so on and so on. And then of course you can click on this one right here. It says show sold price range instead of sold price. So maybe if you want to do this, it's going to get the record. It's not exactly available for the public eye, this option, but if you click that, your client will actually be able to see that. So it really kind of depends. Oh, sorry. So here, let me kind of keep going a little bit further down. And then this option, y'all, this is the way that you're going to actually be able to send it out to your clients. So you can't really, it's not exactly with the auto, it's kind of similar to the auto email. You can't really send it to like every single day, or you can't really have it to where it's ASAP, but you can have it to where it's going to be sent out weekly or even monthly. So it really just depends on maybe what your clients are looking for. Maybe if they're just kind of dilly-dallying, just looky-loos, and they're kind of interested, you can have sent monthly updates, and then it's just kind of gonna send you, it's gonna send your client that market insight maybe about a few days a bit around the beginning of the month. And then it usually sends it to about 6 to 8 a.m.-ish. So it really just kind of depends. Or you can, of course, we can click on send weekly update, and then you can pick and choose whichever days you'd want. So of course you can kind of, sorry, I keep saying of course, but you can kind of click on Monday. So maybe if you want to start out their week with the market insight of their specific property, so they can kind of see what's going on. Or maybe during the week, maybe they're off on a specific day, and you're like, oh, I really want them to look into this on a Wednesday when they're actually off. Or on a Friday, maybe you want them to start off their weekend with a bang and look into this actual market insight on the weekend to see, okay, well, what's going on with my property? How is the other subdivisions doing, or my specific subdivision doing, and so on and so forth. So just make sure you click on a specific day. You either click on a specific, you click on send monthly, but with the monthly, just remember it's going to be the first few days of the month. And you can do this one as well. And just remember, it's going to be from about 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. So it really kind of depends. And then what you want to do, so for auto email, we always do recommend everyone does select that BCC copy. So it's kind of sent out to your clients, and then it's also going to send you one as well. So whenever your clients was to receive that market insight update, then when you'll actually receive one as well. So maybe if they're really interested, maybe if they see some of that feedback, y'all can kind of work together, kind of co-op on what's going on, and then just kind of work from there. So you definitely would want to have this option selected. It's not necessarily mandatory, but it is recommended, so you can kind of see what your clients are actually getting, and then you can actually discuss very well of that specific email that was sent out to them. So same kind of difference with auto emails. So you would just have to select next step here. So let me just see, I have a few things selected. Okay. So let's go to the next step. And then it's going to say, click OK if you want to proceed. So of course, we're going to want to click on OK. And then this window is going to pop up for you. Let me get out of that. So this window is going to pop up for you. So you can go ahead, you can send it up to five emails. The thing is though, you definitely want to check out the actual market insight before you send it out to your clients. So just keep in mind this X button, just go ahead and click on that, and then you'd be able to actually preview what you're going to end up sending to your clients. So, but here you can go ahead, you can put your client's name, your spouse, maybe their kids, business partner, or whatever. You can go ahead and just put in their email addresses, and then make sure, but it's only up to 5 email addresses. And then of course you can, up here, you see import contacts. So if you have any contacts from these, then you can go ahead and do that as well. But just remember, up to 5 email addresses. So let's click on X that. And then here, let me show y'all how it actually looks now. So let's hit it on preview. So this is the market insight that would be sent out to your client. So this is kind of like the customer or consumer view. Right here, we'll have the pictures. So if you have any pictures that are set up with your MLS listing, sorry, you'll have these pictures here. So they can click on that. They can view photos, and then they'll be able to look through the various photos that you've already put into the MLS matrix. And then on the right side, you're going to have your contact information. You definitely want to have your picture already set up. Maybe later on, if you do have some time, I can show y'all how to just go ahead and put your picture on your HR profile. So you do want to have kind of a little picture, definitely professional, have a big smile, very welcoming. And then you'll have your contact number, your email. It looks like he also has his brokerage. And you definitely want this little contact agent. They could easily just go ahead and contact you if they need anything. So here you can see the market overview. So this is kind of like a test. So we're not going to have too much in here. As you can see, it says 0, 0, 0 all the way around. But as you can see, we can have specific areas of how it's actually overviewing or looking into that market. So it's going to show you how many similar homes are for sale. It's going to give them that price range and square footage range. And it's going to also show them the average list price for that specific, for the area that you've chosen, the average square footage for the area, 2 days on the market. I mean, this isn't real, but that would be pretty insane. The average cost square footage. And then it usually would show you the seller condition favors the seller. And then it would also show you the similar homes that are pending right there. And then if they were to scroll down, they would get also the report for recently sold as well. So if you kind of keep scrolling down, your clients will be able to scroll down a little bit and they can kind of see a little bit more options. They can click on last 12 months, a few months ago, maybe if they just want to look about a week ago. It kind of just really depends on what they're looking for. And then there, so these, we selected some of these to where you can actually, they'll be able to see these options. But if you were to deselect it, it won't exactly just have like a valuation and it won't just show nothing when you click on there. So yeah, this is just a sorry, but I'm gonna show you how one actually looks. So valuation, you'll be able to see the different values. Usually it has kind of what the property is going for. The traffic. Here, let me actually show y'all one, but this is just how you created one. So let me just show y'all one so it's a little bit more, you can actually see how it looks. So remember y'all, with these, this is just showing you that it's been created, but it hasn't been sent out to your clients yet. So there's no little email, no little rectangle right there. And this is just how you edit it. And then this is how you preview it. So let's go ahead and preview one of his. Maybe let's go Polo Street. Okay, so that's a little better. So let me show you how the valuation. So if you're going to go to the valuation, it does show you from the third parties. We do say Black Knight is probably one of the most accurate ones. If you do use Zillow, Appraisal District, or CoreLogic might be a little close, but just kind of keep in mind Black Knight does tend to be a little bit more accurate. You can kind of scroll, they'll be able to scroll down and show you the valuation history. So of course, remember those analytical people, they're gonna love seeing some types of graphs on there. If you clicked on traffic, they'll be able to see the different kind of traffic areas as well. So as I'm scrolling down, we'll have our bar graph here. You can kind of hover over it, or they'll be able to hover over it. I mean, both. It shows you the blue is going to be the web detail. The red is going to be for the HR mobile app. That's set up in this fashion. And then if you were to scroll down, it'll show actually the time frame, the amount of traffic the website was actually getting, the amount of traffic the HR mobile app was actually getting, and then it's going to give you that total. So I know this was just created not too long ago. So look at that. It's already getting some hits, getting some views. So that's always good to see there. So then you can, of course, we can hit photos. They'll be able to see the various different photos for that property Mr. Shad has set up. That's always going to come in handy. And then you can go to appointments. So with appointments under here, y'all, you can kind of see, look at that. We have our appointment dates, the times it's been set up. It doesn't look like there was any feedback, but usually when there is feedback, there'd be some kind of like yellow bar here with explaining that specific feedback for the property. So that might come in handy for your clients who are actually selling their house. Maybe they see that some things need to be updated, some things need to be renovated, or also maybe some clients are like, oh wow, it's a really nice property. So that's good to have that feedback option on there. You can go to the right, we'll have comparables. So this is kind of going to show you the various comparables or comps for that property. We have ours over here. You can kind of click on the various times. So at the moment, it's showing just all listings. We have for lease, recently leased. Of course, we can go to list view, and then you can kind of sort by it. But this is just kind of giving you a little quick view of these comparables for that property. So maybe if you're interested in one of these, you can just go ahead and click on that specific home. Let's go to price trends. So as you can see, this is the subdivision price trend for his property, his current listing. So all of this pulls from your listing. As you can see, it has the median appraised value. It has a good old market snapshot, so where you can see these values as well. We have the median year built, and then you can kind of just scroll down a little bit, and then it'll show you those good graphs that those people love. You can hover over the graphs. It'll show you kind of the square footage and price, and then give you all these separate reports. So of course, whenever y'all get a listing, you probably don't want to just stop there. You definitely want to show how you're really working with your clients and working with that listing, and having this awesome market insight tool to where you're always constantly checking how the market is actually doing for their specific area or that shape that you drew on. So it really just depends. There's zip code, of course, right here as well. So this is for that specific zip code where we can see what's going on for his 14531 Polo Street. We have our median year built, the median price for the appraised, our median appraised value. And then it's going to show you also the various property types. So up here, we have single family, residential lease. It's going to give you that number of listings. And then you can also click on these blue hyperlinks, and then it'll take you there as well. So we have our active listings currently for this specific zip code, the recently sold for this specific zip code. So they're able to see that, and some of the demographics. So it looks like it's in Harris County, Southwest Houston, the number of households, and maybe average income. So these reports will become very beneficial, especially if your clients are listing a house and they kind of want to see what's going on with that specific market and how it's changing, how it's increasing, how it's decreasing, and how maybe especially their appointments as well. Next, let me show you how the tax looks. So this is going to be able to pull some tax records from the MLS, from the MLS matrix. So we do have some of our property info for this specific house. We have our tax rates for this area as well. If you kind of scroll down, you'll be able to see also the county appraisal district and the cost per square footage based on the tax value. And they can kind of just select that or hover over, a lot of these options, and it's going to be able to show you that as well. And then last but not least is going to be this promote button. So I don't even know if he has, oh, sorry, it took a second. Okay, so of course you can promote these on the various, look, Dig, I'm not too, I mean, I know that's a little older, but we have Dig, we have Twitter, we have Facebook. Oh, it looks like there's even Reddit. So you can promote these on a different, these different social media websites. But remember, when you do promote it on these websites, you might want to go ahead and deselect, maybe like go ahead and deselect appointments or deselect valuation, maybe some tax records, because you might not want to have those on social media, but you can still definitely have things like comparables and price trends and even traffic for that specific property, because then it'll show you how many people are interested and what's going on. Oh man, I'm kind of falling in my chair here. But so you definitely want to go ahead and unselect some of these, and then let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So this is 14531 Polo Street. So if I was to go back here, and then I see my listing. So 14531 Polo Street, you just got to click on this little pencil button right here. And then you'll be able to actually go ahead and start editing what you've already created. So you can, of course, choose contact to invite. Maybe if you want to go ahead and select more emails, or if you want to send it to someone else. You can kind of update your comparables. So maybe if you're not interested, or if 77085 is not very flattering, then maybe you can go ahead and select a different radius, or maybe just the subdivision, or the geo market area. So geo market areas, remember, they do tend to be larger than the zip code, but it really kind of depends on what you are looking for and what kind of benefits your clients' views and also you as well. And then the custom shape, you can do that here. So maybe if you want to go ahead and put a shape, remember, you just have to click start drawing, and then you can kind of go ahead, maybe they're like, okay, I want to live on this side of Sam Houston Tollway and the Beltway. You kind of just go and make a shape. And then, of course, with these buttons, you can kind of zoom out a little bit. Maybe if you want to zoom in to the shape that you want to build, you just have to click on use a shape. And then, as you can see, I have more results here as well. But remember, your clients will be able to actually see this shape. So here, really quick, let me show you all how that looks. Let me exit out of this one. And if you actually use that shape, let me see. Go to homes. Oh, I didn't want to click on that. Sorry about that. We go to evaluations. Everything is basically going to be the same. Go to traffic. We'll have that. We'll have our traffic here. But if we just go to comparables, and price trends. Oh, I don't think I selected my shape. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see zip code. All right. So remember, you can only have up to 5 emails, y'all. You can customize this and edit it whenever you are ready. Your clients can also unsubscribe. So maybe if they're not really interested, or if you already sold the property, you're already done, you closed, you got all that out of the way, at the bottom of the email that they actually receive, if they just kind of scroll down, there'd be like a little unsubscribe from that market insight tool. So similar to how we do our emails, right? You'll be able to unsubscribe it. You can also, if you were to go down, and then you could also remove it here as well. So you'd be able just to easily remove it yourself, or they can do it themselves as well. So if here, you can kind of update any of this. Remember, single family homes. So if you're looking for that property, and if it's a single family home, it's only going to have that market insight for that specific property type. It's not going to exactly pull everything from like the leasing, renting, multifamily homes. It's only going to be for single family homes. And then you can also edit and pick and choose for your settings here. And then maybe if they don't like getting it every Thursday, you can go ahead and update that as well. So, and just remember, you do want to hit this update settings button if you do actually go ahead and change anything here. So just kind of keep that in mind. You definitely want to hit the update settings just so it's able to go ahead and update for you. Report and tools. So this is where you can actually go ahead and turn on and turn off some of the things that are on that specific market insight. So maybe if you actually go ahead and plan on promoting, right? If you want to go ahead and put it on Facebook, then maybe go ahead and maybe go ahead and turn that off. So then it'll say off, it's going to be updated. And then whenever you actually send it to a Facebook profile or maybe Twitter, then they won't be able to see the appointments. You can maybe go ahead and take off some subdivision. Well, maybe keep that subdivision price trends, but something especially personal for your client, just go ahead and turn that off, and then you can go ahead and promote it. So it's really easy. You just have to go back to your specific market insight. You go to report and tools, and then you can kind of pick and choose what you want for your actual market insight that is set up for your client. And then maybe if some things don't even actually benefit your client, so maybe that zip code trend, maybe that subdivision price trend, if it's not exactly working for your client or it doesn't look too well, you can go ahead and just turn that off and maybe just turn it back on. It really just kind of depends. And then we have the option for shared content. So for shared content, you can also, maybe if you want to add like a video, you can put that on there as well. Maybe if you have if you do have Platinum Package, y'all, maybe some of you guys already set up your website. So you can go ahead, maybe have your web page, your website URL. You can just go ahead and put it right here. Maybe put a comment to where this is how you get to my website, or maybe if you want to look at more options, you can just put anything really in the comments, put your URL there, and then your website will go ahead and go on that market insight. And then you can add various things. So maybe if you want to add like a video or even an image or just a note. So you can definitely add more things to it later on. Then you can just go ahead and just go to this shared content. If you have like a video that's set up for that property, maybe if you have awesome editing skills and you kind of walked around and made a video for that property, you can go ahead and put that on there, and then it'll be able to put it on the market insight. And then of course this preview button to where it'll actually take you to this as well. So remember, this is basically what your clients will be able to see. They'll be able to see your contact right here. So they can go ahead and contact you. They can click on the view photos and all of these different options up here for them as well. So that is how you do market insight. We do have some time, so let me go and show y'all another option really quick. So maybe if you don't have a listing yet, right? Because I know it's probably really hard for people to get listings. But you can go ahead and click on prospecting listing and lesser. So as in maybe if you want someone to list, if someone's actually thinking about listing their house, or if someone's thinking about leasing their house, they can just go ahead and click on this market insight. So if you clicked on market insight, you can go ahead and put an address. Here, let me just kind of put one in here. Okay. So this will give you the option. It's actually going to pull those records from Matrix and go ahead and put that on there. But you can go ahead and update that if you needed to. But just kind of keep in mind, it's already going to go ahead and pull the records from the matrix to where you don't really necessarily need to, but maybe if it's a different price, then you can go ahead and just update that yourself. So then you definitely want to go ahead and select one of these options. So if this specific property wants to maybe sell, or if they're thinking about leasing, you just have to click on that, and then you'll be able to go ahead and you can kind of go to the next step. So for this one, since it's a prospect, it's not exactly a listing, you're not going to be able to have like appointment on there, but you'll be able to still see zip code trends and subdivision trends. So you can still pick the different comparables. So maybe if you want to, here, let me select area. And then as I was saying, remember you can only have one zip code, one geo market, or one subdivision. But maybe if you're thinking about having like kind of a larger area, you can kind of zoom out of the map, and then you can go ahead and start drawing. So maybe if you want it from 99, from the West Park Tollway, I'm gonna go huge portion. Let's go a little bit over here by I-10, and then kind of, or down 610, and then down I-10. So I'm gonna have this huge area. So obviously this is gonna be more than one zip code or more than one geomarket area. So you can kind of utilize this shape to do that, to where if you want to have a larger scope, and then you hit use this shape, and then I'm just going to use that shape. Instead of just having that specific small subdivision, it's going to be able to show me the kind of like the larger scope there. So remember, single family homes, it's only going to have it for that specific property type. And then you can kind of pick and choose your percentages. So maybe let's go 25. Let's go plus or minus 2,000. I'm going to show you how that looks. Remember, you always want to have yourself send me a copy. Same difference as having auto email. BCC yourself a copy so you can actually talk to your clients, talk to them about what is actually sent out to them, and then you'll be able to kind of discuss from there. Next step, got to click on this OK. And then remember, before you actually send it out to them or send it out to your prospective clients, then make sure you just hit that X button and then go ahead and click preview. So then you can kind of see what it's actually going to be sent out to them. Here, let me click on that. So this one doesn't have a photo yet because it just doesn't have something from Google. But whenever you do have, if you create something for a prospective prospect client, sorry about that, then you just have to, then something will be on there. Usually it's going to be something from like, from Google. It might not, it really depends on Google. So maybe if they have like a few different vantage points, or if they have this awesome picture on there, it really just kind of depends on them. That's what's going to end up popping up on there. So as we can see, this is our little market overview for this property. So it looks like I had that huge scope on there. So for that huge scope, we have 326 similar homes for sale. The average listing price for that big area that I selected was about 380,000, average square foot 2,207. The average days on market 46. And then remember, you can just kind of scroll down, and then it'll also show you the analytics and the report for the recently sold on there. And then this is what I was talking about, as that whenever you make a shape, it's going to pop up for you, or it's going to pop up for them as well. So make sure you have a shape, exactly what they're looking for. If they give you something in mind, don't exactly go too crazy with it. And then it'll also show you different options to where for the properties are actually kind of like on sale. Scroll down, and then you'll be able to see what's kind of like similar in the area. And then of course, we're going to have our recently sold. So maybe if they want to see something that's, maybe this house is also 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2 stories, same kind of square footage, they can go ahead and click on that and then see and compare. So here, let me go up. Let me show y'all. So this is how it's going to kind of look for maybe if you want to get a listing, you can also show it to that specific client, or you can also send this out to yourself as well. So maybe if you're interested in like a specific area or specific zip code, then you can also just go ahead, email yourself, and then it's going to send you a market insight. So let me hit valuation. So remember, Black Knight might be a little bit more accurate, but these are the current valuations. They're just going to be third-party providers though. And then it's going to give you that graph. So it's very similar to the market insight for your actual listing. But as you can see, we don't have appointments on here and a few things like we don't have promote. So we can go comparables. You can look at the different comparables. Remember, we have up to 12 months. Maybe if you want to just go last 2 weeks, and then they'll be able to see that. But I selected a huge area, so it is going to be a lot. And then we have our list view. Let me go up a little bit. So we have our price trends. So for that huge area that I selected, it looks like the median appraised value is about 354,000. The median year built was about 1987. We can get a little market snapshot and those good old graphs that your people are going to love, your clients or customers, sorry. And we can go towards the zip code. So where this is looking for that specific zip code. So as you can see, we have for 77043, there's about 174 active listings. The median price is about 399,000 so far. And then we can go to active realtor listings. So you can see the different property types, the amounts. We can go to recently sold. And then the tax. So the tax, it is going to pull it from MLS. So you don't have to really worry about inputting anything in there. It's just going to kind of show you there. And it will have this awesome graph. So let's go back to the home. So this is going to be for the prospective leasing or even selling of a property. So we don't have everything on there, but it is very similar to the actual market insight for your listing. So remember, you can send it out to yourself, send it out to your prospective clients, and they'll be able to see the market and kind of what's going on. We can remember, you can click on report and tools to where maybe if it doesn't benefit them, you can click that on and off. You can add a video. So remember, shared content. So maybe if you have a specific website already created, or if you already created a video, go ahead and add it on there. And then property to where you can kind of select. You remember, this is already getting pulled, but you can also edit it as well. And then hit preview. All right, y'all. So it looks like we just have a few more minutes. I really appreciate y'all hanging in there. I know Marilyn's been handling the chat like a champ. She is amazing. She is so insightful. So I'm so glad I have her here with me. But let me show y'all really quick. So of course you see how we have Shad, he set up his picture. So you definitely want to have something set up on there. So whenever you actually send a market insight to a client, they'll be able to see your lovely smiling faces. So you just have to go to my account, go to personalized information, click on that, and then you can click on your photo to where you'll actually be able to go ahead and upload a photo. So you definitely want to go ahead and do that whenever you're going to send out this market insight tool to your clients and customers, just so they're able to see y'all's lovely faces. All right, y'all. So we're about to wrap up here. Let me just remind you how to get here. So if anyone has already used Market Insight, you can go to frequently used tools. You could also try going to tools, go to tools and then marketing tools and then Market Insight. Or if you already have some listings and if you want to create one for that specific listing, go ahead to listing management, my listings. You're going to want to hit action, scroll down, and then you can go create a market insight. And then you can do tons of things. If you hit action there, you can create flyers and a whole bunch of different tools that is available for you. But all right, y'all, this comes to my end of my presentation. Here, let me do this. Deselect that, get rid of this. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for attending. Marilyn has been amazing. I am so thankful for her. But thank you all for attending this webinar. I really hope you learned at least something new, but you definitely want to be able to try using, if you don't already have MLS Platinum, go ahead and try using that trial, and then you can attend any of the classes, try to go ahead and follow along, try to be hands-on, and then it might benefit you. So it really kind of just depends. But this is my contact information. This is our contact information for our department and our email as well. So, all right, you guys, here, let me go ahead and stop sharing. And then it looks like someone did have a question. Oh, yeah. So it really kind of depends on your dimensions for your picture. So you might just have to kind of update that, because sometimes it won't be able to sometimes it won't take it if that file is a little bit too large. Let's see. And then someone's saying, oh, how can I rewatch? Oh, so I know later on, they'll probably go ahead and start uploading some of these webinars on our HR TV. So if you were to go to YouTube and try to go to our YouTube channel and just type in HR TV, you'd be able to see some of the past webinars, maybe some of the past classes. I know there is one that even has a matrix overview, like a whole class of that. So you'll be able to see that. And then you can go ahead and just kind of look through our YouTube channel. And then there's a lot of different videos that will be really beneficial to you. I know there is also Showing Smart videos. So if y'all need any assistance with Showing Smart, definitely just go to that YouTube video, our YouTube channel, and then it'll give you all these tips and tricks and how to use it. All right. And thank you, Marilyn, for telling her that. And yeah, y'all, if you do need anything, go ahead and email Marilyn and I, and we'll be able to go ahead and reach out to you and definitely help you with some of your questions. But all right, you guys, let me stop sharing, and I really appreciate y'all being here. All right, y'all, well, have a good one. And thank you, Marilyn. You are so amazing. Well, I hope you guys learned something, but all right, well, have a good one.